Hello everybody and welcome to Purple Table Tarot. My name is Robin and I will be reading for Pisces today. So Pisces, we are going to be doing in honor of Cancer season, we're going to be doing the Chariot reading. So basically we're looking into, because the Chariot card represents Cancer season, we're going to see where you are headed and what those past influences are, and what kind of projections you're basically taking with you leading into the future. We'll also look at what is protecting you, how your reputation precedes you, and what you're bringing when, what people see as you move forward. And also looking at your strengths. Okay, but first we will cleanse the space and the cards with some Palo Santo here. And we will get into your reading. Okay, and remember these are general readings. Not all of them will resonate, but when they do, wonderful. If they do not, check your other zodiacal placements. Okay. And what else? Oh, remember to do all the YouTube-y things, please, because that helps the channel grow. And it helps other people see the messages that they might need to see and might need to hear. Okay. So this is for Pisces. This is for Pisces. Okay. So Pisces, I'd like to call on Spirit at this time and extend an invitation with so much grace and gratitude for Pisces' greatest and highest good, for a message from Spirit for Pisces' greatest and highest good at this time. Okay? This is for Pisces. Okay, and bottom of the deck energy here we have the Nine of Cups. Okay, and so Nine of Cups, the overall energy right now for Cancer season for you is gregarious, really having fun with whatever it is you're choosing to do, not taking life too incredibly seriously right now, just really enjoying yourself and also sharing what you have to share with other people. Okay, sharing what you have to share, which is great. In your strengths, you have the Five of Swords. So that would say that, there's an energy there of wanting to win at all costs. So we'll look into what those strengths are doing for you. Perhaps you feel like perhaps you feel like you have to defend yourself in some way. Or perhaps right now you are sidestepping an issue. It's not necessarily conflict avoidance. It's more like, you're having conflict, but if this shows up in your strengths, perhaps you're standing up for yourself in some way. We'll see when we look into that and clarify it. And there could be some dishonesty. So you could very well be calling on dishonest practices in order to achieve some kind of goal. And so with Five of Swords and your strengths, it'll be interesting to see what's behind that. Okay. Why would you feel like you need to use that kind of energy as something to feel strong in yourself and in your forward movement? Okay. So what is protecting you? The Three of Swords. So that makes sense. That makes sense then, how that plays into each other. There's a feeling of being, could have been a betrayal, right? Could have been a betrayal, but feeling a bit heartbroken about something. And, when we're in that energy, it's like something has ended, something has shifted that made us feel very sad and is making us feel very sad. But it's also, that's like stepping over the threshold into healing. So I would say that right now, that since that hurt is protecting you, I would imagine that you could be feeling quite guarded, quite defensive, hence the strengths, hence the Five of Swords being your strength. So in the month of July, in Cancer season here, and the very end of June, I get the sense that you're going to be moving forward with that kind of tone and tenor around you. So we'll see. We'll look into it all, okay? All right, so what are these past influences? You have the Five of Wands, more conflict, and the Eight of Pentacles. So, that to me says that you got two conflict cards here. Conflict in action and conflict in communication. Okay? And this is coming from, you're protecting yourself. It's like you're being shielded in this pain right now because there has been conflict. And I get the sense that with the Eight of Pentacles, that you are focusing very heavily on work. That's a very common coping strategy because the Eight of Pentacles is the area that we have mastery in. And so to focus on the things in our life that we can control, that we feel like we have more ground under our feet in that particular area, makes sense that that would be a driving force. That would be a past influence that we're employing again in the midst of this pain and this conflict and where things are feeling pretty painful and messy. Okay? So let's see here. What is your crest? Basically, what is it that precedes you? What is this energy that you have in front of you that you're putting out into the world? And that says Four of Cups. So yeah, I would say at least you're quite transparent in how you feel right now. Given these energies, it makes perfect sense that you would be proceeding with the Four of Cups. That when you go out and you move forward, that's how people see you. And that you are, I would say that you're then living in alignment with how you feel. Like the outer reflects the inner. And even if that's painful, at least that's congruent. Okay? And so congruence is definitely healthy. Even if we're in pain. Hang on just a second. My apologies for the coughing. This has been happening. Like every reading is for Cancer, Scorpio, and now Pisces. And I think it's because this window is partially open and for the AC, and I live surrounded by trees, and some of them are cottonwood. And whenever I feel like the microscopic pollen is kind of getting in there. Sorry. All right. So what are the energies that are your sphinxes that are basically pulling you forward? Okay. These could be projections into the future. These could be like goals. What's the motivation to move forward? So let's see. We have the Four of Pentacles and the Eight of Swords. So right now, because we're always moving forward, okay? We're always moving forward in life through whatever it is that we're dealing with. It's our life. You live day to day. I would say with all of these energies that Cancer season is not the best season to try to manifest anything, because if you're going to be trying to make something happen or manifest something with these energies guiding you, you might not be happy with what it is that you manifest. I feel like there's a lot more healing to do before you take the reins and try to make something happen. This forward movement to me says healing, that you are on the, I'm getting an image now of like, say like a racetrack, and not necessarily that maybe you want to hurry up and race through this experience, but you're at the starting line with this pain and hurt and energy. So it makes sense that this is, you're going to be moving forward through this healing process, okay? But with the Four of Pentacles here, it's like you're holding on to something. And we'll look into see what that is. But whatever it is that you're holding on to, it corresponds with being up in your head about it with the Eight of Swords. And that's the thing. When we are living in like the pain body, basically, if we're holding tight to something that needed to cycle out or is just not good for us anymore, but yet we don't want to let it go, we can really get up in our heads about how to get it back, because if we get it back, then we don't have to feel all this stuff, right? There could be a part of you that's also with this conflict thinking, how do I work? Granted, I'm going to bury myself in work and get a sense of mastery, but perhaps problem solving and conflict resolution is also one of your really good skills. So you could be thinking to yourself, okay, well, in moving forward, like, how can I use my mastery in order to negotiate this situation so I don't have to let it go, right? So that I just get the sense with these energies combined that that's what is at play here. Okay. Put that guy over there. And I'm going to clarify some of the cards now. Let's look into the heartbreak. And this is protecting you on some level. How is this protecting you? So if this is some kind of energy that is in protection mode for you, I would definitely, I think that this is an invitation for you to ask yourself, am I feeling kind of in the victim space, in the victim mindset, and completely justifying all these feelings that I have because the other person did this to me? And as long as I can, place the blame on the other person and things like that, which, okay, fair enough. There are things that people do that are rightfully so very painful and hurtful and mean and all of those things, okay? But if we take that narrative on, and hang on to that blame or hang on to that grudge, that's like eating poison and hoping the other person dies, It's kind of like, I think that this is an invitation for you to really look at how this pain, like what is the meaning that you're making out of this pain right now? And, you could tread water in the space of well, I'm fully justified because they did this to me and them, you know. Or you could say, yeah, they did this to me and that really hurt me and that wasn't fair. And that whole expression of whatever they gave to me that resulted in that pain, that belongs to them. I'm not going to take that with me. So, you know, and when we get into the victim space around and have and take and wear that pain like a cloak or like a badge in order to protect us, or like say maybe justify our own behavior and how that comes out, there's some work that needs to be done there. Because the thing is that whatever behavior and how you move forward through Cancer season or even beyond, you need to own it. And when we move through life with a protective cloak or shield, like badge or something like that on us, that is like, you know, oh well, they did this, so I'm justified. That's you placing the responsibility of your own behavior and actions on this other person. And they need to take responsibility for hurting you, sure. But it's your responsibility on how you are going to embody your life moving forward, regardless of what they did, and how you make meaning of it that actually puts the power back in your court, in your shoes, making meaning of it, learning from it, owning the parts, owning the behaviors that also played into this conflict, because it takes more than one person to be in conflict with another, right? Okay. I get the sense that with the strength piece, with the Five of Wands, or Five of Swords, sorry, that you feel quite righteous in your position in this conflict. Like, I'm right. Like, I'm right about this, and you very well could be. But the way that this energy then is like attaches to you in your forward movement. So like I said, I don't know what this conflict was, but let's look into it. Okay. Actually, yeah, so let's just start with the Five of Swords. Knight of Wands, Ten of Swords, and the Star. Okay. So there was a lot of hope here. That's something you felt very passionate about, something that really held your libidinal energy and your libidinal focus for, I'm guessing, for quite some time, because if the Star is in our energy, that means it's something that we've been hoping for, something that we've been wanting, but something that could have felt out of reach, you know, but you were moving towards it and you really wanted it, but it didn't happen. with the Ten of Swords. As a matter of fact, it could have been death by 1,000 cuts, right? This could have been something that happened over and over again, and then you finally got to the 10, and you're just like, oh my gosh. But with the Star here as well, another energy that card carries, like the tone and tenor of the situation, is that there's healing, you know, like, so that's what I'm hoping, that like you take this situation and choose to move forward in a healing, in a way that you can heal from this, rather than continue to work on trying to make it happen or to get it back or to make that person see that they were in the wrong or something like that. Okay. Three of Swords. Page of Swords, Ace of Pentacles, and the Judgment. Yeah, a decision was made, okay? A decision was made for either you or somebody else to plant a new seed, okay? And with this Page of Swords energy here, there was a small gesture at communication. Perhaps you could have seen something online. That's like, you know, a new, more modern definition of the Page of Swords is looking at stuff on the internet, specifically other people's social media and things like that. So, you know, you could very well have seen something online or initiated a conversation, and what was revealed through that conversation or that, you know, observation is that, you know, that somebody else was planting a seed somewhere else. And, you know, that they made a judgment call. I mean, that could very well be it, you know. I get the sense also that with the Judgment, it's like you wanted to resurrect this. You wanted to resurrect this. You wanted to fix it. You wanted to start over and start over with a vision for the future. Like Pentacles are long-term energy. It's like, think of them as seeds, right? You know, we plant that ace for something that is going to be there for the long haul. You know, like with plants, flowers, whatever we're planting, it takes time to grow, okay? And so I get the sense that, and that was a very vulnerable thing for you to suggest, because with the Page, there's a beginner energy. And so you have the Page right next to the Ace, so it's like, you know, you wanted to resurrect something. You wanted to bring it back to life. And with that proposition here, the other person made the decision, or perhaps, and keep in mind the energies can be flipped. And this could be with somebody, this could be with a job, this could be with anything, right? Honestly, I'm just thinking that it has to be between two or more people because the conflicts are here. However, they could also involve internal conflict, okay? So, what's behind the pain is that there was a bid for a new beginning, and I don't think that new beginning was not accepted. And so another way in reading this energy is that where you're at right now with this pain, with this Three of Swords, you are trying to come back to life. You are trying to come back from the dead, like making a judgment call, making a decision for you to, you know, for you yourself to plant a new seed in your life. And with the Page of Swords as the beginner energy, that could also be like, say, if this is something that having to do with work or anything like that, you could be going back to school, maybe not even just full on school, but you could be taking some workshops or learning something new in order to really, you know, bolster that seed that you want to plant. Okay. So there's a few different ways in which to look at these energies, but it's like they're all expressing the same kind of thing, but but those are the contexts that come out for me as a reader. Okay, let's see the Five of Wands. Ace of Cups, Three of Swords, and a Six of Swords. Yeah, you offered your cup. You offered your cup, and that cup was not accepted. And so there needed to be a moving away. there needed to be, you and your person, you guys had to step away. I'm sorry, that's really painful. So the Eight of Coins is clarified by the Eight of Wands, the Hanged Man, and the Devil. Interesting. So this would say, like, what comes out at me straight away is that you're working really hard at holding yourself back. That there could be a lot of messages, or there could be a lot of things that you want to say. There could even be an energy inside of you that you want to leave, or that you want to like go and move forward, but it's like you have this swift moving energy right next to the Hangman. Movement, all kinds of action, all kinds of movement right next to the person who ain't going anywhere, that they're bound. And they're not only bound, they're upside down. So that, having those things in conflict inside of yourself about wanting forward movement, but yet not fully feeling ready, or just kind of needing to, how do you balance out getting on with your life with honoring yourself and feeling the pain of what has just transpired? And with this Devil energy here, I would say that this is like a invitation to look at ways in which you're coping with this. How are you coping with this? When you find yourself sitting in the gap between wanting to give yourself grace and be present with your own experience, and this is Pisces energy, and wanting to be like, I'm going forward. I need to move out of this. And I wanted to say like run away from it. How are you doing that? Because how we balance these two energies out is called coping. Because you can't run away from it. The feelings are here, right? It's all here. And so it's like we have to honor that in ourselves. But yet we can't just simmer there and dwell and dwell and dwell, because it's like, oh my gosh, like if I did that, I wouldn't get anything done. Like the house would go to, disarray, and things would go neglected because I'd be so far up my own butt dwelling on this very painful thing, right? So how do we keep our regular everyday movements and balance in our life and staying engaged with our tangibles, with our day-to-day, and honoring our feelings? So this is an invitation to look at how you're coping. If you are coping by ways of, overworking, over drinking, overeating, over reminiscing, whatever it is that like doesn't feel freeing, it feels like something that just keeps you tethered and bound, because if we're coping in a healthy way, we will come to find that our grief is like passing clouds in the sky, right? Like first there's a storm and it's like the skies are not clearing. And then little by little we have sun breaks, and then it'll even extend to like a sunny day, a whole day in between those cloudy days. And then it's like over time we have more sunny days. It's just kind of kind of like that, where you're finding that your energy is shifting slowly over time, when you give yourself that grace. And that is specifically when you're able to cope in a healthy and positive way. Okay. This can also stand for codependency. So perhaps there's something that, with another person, trying to find another person to replace this person. Who knows? It's any which way that you're finding your help, like what is healthy for you in the gap. And if your self-reflections do come up and reveal that there has been something you've been doing, you're like, nah, that's probably not the best idea, then feel free to release that piece. Okay. Let's look at your crest here. That makes sense with all this pain that you'd be feeling the Four of Cups. Of course. Low energy, disappointment, rejection, blah, depression. Four of Pentacles again, the Wheel, and the Seven of Pentacles. Yep. There's something you're holding on to, and that holding on is keeping you in the pain body. And I feel like you're working, like the Seven of Pentacles is like continuing to invest in a particular thing and not seeing the results that you would like. And there is little by little, but there's stunted growth. There's stunted growth. On this card, this farmer is doing all that they can to make this potato plant, flourish, but you see that there's brown leaves. Not all the leaves are brown, but there are some brown leaves. So it's like, are you over-watering it? There's this holding on. Like, are you putting too much fertilizer at the base of the plant? Are you over pruning or, smothering it in some way with your efforts? So that's a way in which to ask yourself, and by it not paying off, even though you want so badly for your efforts to pay off, you're not happy with the results, hence the Four of Cups. And there's this Wheel of Fortune here, which is an invitation and kind of an overarching energy of, we make our choices and we get clearer, right? The wheel keeps on turning, and, it's action, reaction, So what choices are we making in our efforts, Eight of Pentacles, that are delivering results that we then move forward in our life and everybody can see that we're deeply unhappy? And if you are deeply unhappy, or not even if, since you are deeply unhappy, the choices need to be about you, like making choices that are beneficial for you. Beneficial for you, because with the Four of Pentacles here twice, that would suggest some sort of element of control. Some sort of element of control in order to, and when we begin to control, we're trying to produce a particular outcome. Okay? We're trying to produce a particular outcome. And that can go hand in hand with this Devil energy, right? Feeling bound to a particular outcome. Like, I'm not going to be happy until this thing happens. Fixation energy, obsessive energy, things like that. Okay? So this is an invitation for you to reflect on how this is playing out in your life right now. How this dynamic, and I get the sense that this is a internal dynamic. This is an intrapersonal dynamic. Continuing to try and not letting go when it hasn't bared fruit. Typically with the Seven of Pentacles, there's kind of a positive spin. You know, there's a positive side to it. It really emphasizes like it hasn't borne the fruit yet. You know, so it's like there's an element of hope of like this plant is not dead. You know, this plant's not dead. There's more green on this plant than there is brown. Okay, great. And you know, with if you're coming at the plant with this kind of energy, the Four of Pentacles energy, then there's something that you're doing that is actually stifling the growth of this plant. And with the Wheel and the Devil here, that is an invitation for you to reflect on what that is. What is it that you're doing? And this isn't where you get blamed. You know, you don't need to use this as fodder to give yourself shit and to kick yourself. You know, it's like really just honest reflection and then having compassion for that. You know, Pisces, you're like one of the most compassionate and intuitive signs in the zodiac. And so, you know, really turn that love and care and compassion onto yourself and give yourself grace and say, well, of course I would want to, try to make this better, because if I don't make it better, then I'm just going to feel this, and I don't want to feel that. And so what this is also an invitation to, do less. Whatever this is making you feel drawn to do, and you're holding on so tightly, but then you're coming to discover you're like over-giving, over-watering, overdoing the thing in an effort to make it happen, to bring it back, to bring that cycle back around or whatever. Don't do anything. Law of least effort. If you surrender and you let go, the thing that is, first off, you'll be able to just get on with your life and focus on your healing, but the thing that is meant for you will then be able to arrive, you know? The Four of Pentacles is clarified by the King of Swords, the Eight of Swords, and the Four of Wands. Yeah, that's exactly what I was talking about. How do I get my stability back? How do I get my stability back? There's a way in which this King of Swords energy firmly believes that whatever they're holding on to, and this could be a strategy, like a strategy that they have in mind, this is going to be the way I get my stability back. But since it's not working out, there's worry about that. A lot of anxiety, sleepless nights. This can also be coming to terms with how the actual stability in home is showing up. This could be, loss of a home, there's been loss of stability here. And there's conflict between reconciling the fact that is lost, and having to let go. This is a very painful process right now, Pisces. This is very, very painful. And I'm sorry for that, for you. But you're not, I mean, it could feel like stuck energy right now. But like with the Nine of Cups, so the Nine of Cups comes after the Eight of Cups, okay? And with the Nine of Cups, there's a singlehood again. There's a solitary energy. And that energy is kind of trying things out to see what will make them happy again. Hence, it's like there could be, like, oh, maybe a dinner party, or maybe going out dancing, or maybe this, or maybe that. And so then you come to find, do these things still make me happy? Or are any of these things actually alleviating any of the pain that I'm trying to heal from? The stuff that I just walked away from, whether it was my choice or not. So that's here. I mean, so in a sense, I could also see that as a positive reach for healing. Definitely a positive reach for healing. But you're definitely not out of the woods yet, which is okay. That's okay. You need to give yourself grace. Find the balance between forward movement and healing, and giving yourself that time and space to, meditate and have the shift, the internal shift between that and the healing, the spiritual awakening here. Eight of Swords is clarified by the Ace of Swords, the Five of Wands, and the Queen of Wands. So, of course, you're in your head about the truth of the matter, that there was all kinds of conflict going on, quite possibly with a Queen of Wands, and that could be a fire sign, Leo, Sagittarius, Aries. And this is also, with the Five of Wands, it can involve an internal conflict or an external conflict with more than one person. So all these different folks have different ideas about how something needs to happen. It's like, people having conflicting ideas on what to do and how to do it. And if we read this energy as if you are the Queen of Wands here, like that, if that's an energy that you have, what you're doing is finding your confidence again. Because the truth of the matter is that this has ended, okay? And that there was a lot of conflict here. And you could be in conflict between like facing the truth and finding that confidence still in the face of that truth, which I believe is how the Eight of Swords is here. Because that kind of conflict will put you in your head a lot, into a lot of overthinking. Okay. So this is a challenging read. This is challenging, very painful, very deep, difficult energies right now. But with the Six of Swords here, you're moving forward. Like you're moving forward from this. And the Five of Wands is here and it's here. So there can be even conflict about, okay, we're moving forward, right? Like I'm moving forward this way, you're moving forward that way. And now we still need to like negotiate how that looks, I'm thinking that this was the end of a long-term commitment where now there's negotiations on how to deal with the home, how to divvy up assets, and perhaps even like children, if you have children. I don't see any. There's only one page here. Pages can denote children. Okay, and at the bottom of the clarification deck, we have the Queen of Pentacles. So, you know, a lot of self-care right now is absolutely warranted. Self-care balanced with, you know, trying out fun things that used to work, that have worked, that could very well be working, right? Be careful of too much fun or developing a dependency on some sort of person or thing that you attach your own personal healing onto. Okay? All right. A lot of self-care right now. That's the advice. Excuse me. Oh my God, I totally burped. I'm so sorry. My apologies. Okay. So this is it for the tarot portion. Okay. I'm gonna pick some oracle cards for you. Oops. Shoot. Okay, let's just take these. Trusting in life. Today I will trust that the events occurring in my life are not random. My experiences aren't mistakes, and the universe, my higher power, and life are not picking on me. I'm going through exactly what I need to go through to learn something valuable, something that will prepare me for the joy and love I am seeking. I'm going to put that right here over the pain that was protecting you. Okay, rescuing myself. Today I will not wait for someone to come to my aid. I'm not helpless. Although help may come, I'm my own rescuer. My relationships will dramatically improve when I stop rescuing others and stop expecting others to rescue me. Focusing on substance. Today I will focus on the substance in my life. I will fill in the lines of myself with a real person, me. I will concentrate on the substance of my relationships and other areas of my life, not the trappings. Nice. Very good. I like that. I feel like those cards really resonated with the message for sure. Okay. So what do you need to surrender? And that's Hanged Man energy, surrendering energy. Oops. Surrender to silence. In quiet meditation or contemplation, let go and center the stillness within. Silence can heal and replenish you. That's exactly what I was saying about this hangman energy, right? Getting your cosmic download on just how to just sit with the raw experience, and maybe you meditate for 15 minutes and I'm gonna get up and go for a walk. I'm going to drink a glass of water. I'm going to listen to my favorite band, whatever, right? I feel like that's really powerful advice. Okay, and I'm going to pick two more cards. Okay, I'm going to pick a flower card, and a animal card. Iris, inspiration. Iris encourages you to cultivate the beauty within so you can better create and express it in the world around you. Her deeply restorative energy helps revitalize your connection to divine guidance, helping you to discover your true passions and allowing inspiration and creativity to flow. Very nice. These are very good messages for you, Pisces. These are really good messages. This reading was challenging. It was difficult. It is difficult right now. This energy is very hard to sit with, but you will get through it. Like, this will pass. You will heal, okay? You will absolutely heal. Oops. There's the card. Okay. Coyote, revealer of truth. Don't take things too seriously. Make time to play. Great wisdom comes from laughing at your own folly. Look out for the traps and tricks of life and learn from them. Yeah, I'm going to put that over the truth card here. I really do think that there's a lot of healing in that. Like I was saying earlier, when you recognize the ways in which you may be trying to, like, fix it, control it, figure it out, la-di-da. We can reflect on that and be like, yeah, that's what I was doing. I'm such a goober, like do it like that and be like, rah, like, oh, it's my fault. And like have some sort of like experience where you take that insight and weaponize it against yourself. Don't do that. Take an insight and find a way to like giggle about it, as if you just caught like some little kid with their chubby little hand in the cookie jar and chocolate on their face. Which kind of conjures up a really cute image, right? But they wanted a cookie. They don't want to not have the cookie. Okay, so that is what I have for you, Pisces. I know that this is really hard, but I feel like you are moving forward, and if anything, this was helpful advice to reflect on how you're moving forward and how that you need to like kind of release and kind of surrender and loosen your grip a bit. Okay? And it's okay if you feel the Four of Cups. If you're feeling the Four of Cups, you're being authentic, because what is behind this is a bunch of freaking pain that's completely gnarly that I don't even have, and it's different for everybody, right? It's a loss of some kind that was very, very big. Okay? Okay. So do all the YouTubey things and help the channel grow, and I will see you soon. Okay. Thanks. Bye.